The 823rd edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost, the bank account built for bettors. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN and get a $25 matching deposit bonus. And we're also brought to you by Naira Bets. Claim your $200 deposit match bonus today by going to nyrabets.com/SGPN200. That's promo code SGPN200.
Howdy ho, DeGenerinos. Welcome to episode 823 of the MMA Gambling Podcast and the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to the new member of our family, Hero, the autism service dog. So now we have 3 dogs in the family, and this one already has almost more Instagram followers than I do, which is he's a dog, first of all, and he's only been around for like a couple of days. But apparently, dogs are big on Instagram. There's a lot of dog accounts. So anyhow, this goes out to Hero. I'm a little jealous of your follower amounts, but hey, these things happen in MMA. Welcome to the show. Invicta FC 62, as you can tell by the title, is what this is all about. I am Supremo Simplicio, Jeff Fox, my new name. I think it's saying I'm supremely simple, which I guess
I think that's good for your breakdowns, though. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, this guy.
She's bad. Good, she's bad.
Yeah, she's bad. That guy strike good.
That guy strike good, that guy strike bad.
That's it. That's all you need.
That would be Daniel Gummy Vreeland. His name is perfect for his jiu-jitsu. That's where it came from, right? It was jiu-jitsu, was it not? Okay, I figured. Yeah, my simple breakdowns worked for the UFC. We won't talk UFC today, but we can do that in a couple of days when we cover the stellar UFC Apex slop that's coming down the pipe this week. But yeah,
sick main event.
Main event's good, but yeah, I guess that's a thumbs up for a Apex card. At least the main event's good.
You also get Juicy J. Juicy J's always exciting as hell.
You obviously have a short. Your memory is as bad as mine. You don't remember how it used to be, Gumby.
Yeah,
the fight cards we used to get.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that also we used to get like 2 a month too. Instead.
I know that's the trade-off.
Yeah, I want fights every weekend.
We need it for our brand, our company here. Yes, but you people do like the regional. You people out there do like the regional stuff. How about a regional recap roundup? How did it go this weekend? How's it going for the year?
So we talked a little bit on yesterday's episode about how we were doing. We were up to 10 units, which was pretty damn good. However, PFL Europe went quite badly for me. I went 2-3 on PFL Europe, which cost me almost 3 full units because despite having 2 winners in there, the McGrizzla was negative 1,000, and I think we locked in Paul Hughes at negative 1,300. So that was good for about $17 on our play there. So yeah, it wasn't great. So we wound up down a couple units there. So we're up about 7.2 units right now.
That was the most PFL thing ever. That it was not available in the States. I hear that's fantastic.
Yeah, right? I mean, nothing was. Although I think PFL Europe was easier to watch than PFL MENA. PFL MENA was bad. They canceled a ton of fights. You couldn't watch it. But we hit a 3-1 underdog. So, you give it.
But I heard Europe is going to be available coming July, though. Oh, great. Thanks, guys.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's nice when you have an event in May.
Yeah. Exactly. And you had like one of your biggest stars headlining it, too. And apparently
46-second knockout.
He looked really good in front of a hometown crowd. It might have been good but, United States, who cares? Small market, right? Who needs the United States?
Don Davis, the guy who brags about just being a businessman and not caring about MMA, doing the bad business stuff and putting on good MMA, which is the most confusing contradiction of all time.
Sure, it sure is. We'll talk about a little company that does. They do things right, at least in my eyes. May not be as big as PFL, but Invicta is a pretty darn good promotion. We're going to get to that in a sec. After I remind you that the DeGens line of gear is now live in our merch store. That would be sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. And to celebrate, we are taking 20% off everything with the promo code DeGens, so DEGENS. So they got really good DeGens hats, a whole bunch of DeGens merch, and of course, there's a whole store dedicated just to this here show and some of the funny things that we like to say, the weird things that we like to say on this here podcast. So sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. All right, let's dive into Invicta. They're up and running basically once a month. It's Invicta FC 62. Lehner versus Rubin, May the 16th. So that would be Friday, right? I believe. Yes. Friday night, Kansas City, Missouri, 6:30 p.m. start time, CBS Sports Network. Prelims are on YouTube. How can there be prelims when there's only 6 fights in the card? Are they going to add? I guess there's two prelims apparently on this year fight card.
Yeah, I only saw one other fight, but then I think maybe they snuck another one in there. But yeah, there's usually a couple of fight YouTube prelims.
Yep. If you're in the area, the Lex at Municipal Auditorium is the place to be. No title fight here. Do they have champions currently? They seem to not be running a lot of title fights, right?
Yeah, they've got champs. Olga Rubin just fought for a championship in her last fight.
Right, yeah. So they have like what, 4 weight classes? You think they could have a champ on every, since they're running once a month?
They're working on building up the featherweight class. I know they've been talking about putting that title back on the line at some point in time. Yep. Our girl Snickers is, I think, in line maybe for a title shot there.
Snickers. Yep. No featherweights in this card though. We'll have to go without. Let's kick things off, shall we? With what weight are these ladies? They are 15. Yeah. So strawweights: Ashley, Barrett, Quinn, Williams. A couple of United States fighters, very new in their careers, duking it out 3 5-minute rounds, 115. No odds yet, but Invicta odds are fairly easy to find. And today's Monday, so probably midweek. You should have them. We'll start with Williams first. She is 2-1 with 1 submission. She's been submitted herself once. She has his rounds. 1-0 in Invicta. She's won 2 straight. She did lose her last. She lost her last bout, which would have been her pro debut, April 2023. Used to fight up at flyweight, 2 inches height, 2 inches reach over Barrett. Barrett's nickname is Smashly, all capital letters. Is how I see it. Gumby, is that how you
love it? Yeah, that's Smashly Barrett. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to say it in capital letters, Smashly. So she's 1-1 with 1 knockout. She's been submitted once. That definitely adds up to bonus rounds. All those fights are taking place in Invicta. Submission lost in her last bout. Used to fight at 125, 2 years younger than Williams. So do these ladies have some outside MMA experience that I'm overlooking here, or are they just newbies here?
I mean, they're mostly newbies, but they come from good AMI backgrounds, and both are pretty physically gifted, if I would say so myself. I kind of think Quinn Williams is going to come in here as a slight favorite, probably only in the like negative 150 range because they're both pretty green. And Ashley Barrett's going to be my pick. First of all, I'm going to take her as a slight underdog, even though she's coming off that loss. The bottom line is in that fight, if you go back and watch her last loss, which I picked her in that fight too. But when you go back and you watch her in that loss, she had all the takedowns and she had all the wrestling, and that's what she's really good at, right? She's a grinder. And so she had all the takedowns and all the wrestling and stuff. And just like a couple of times, she got too high on the back trying to take the back. And she really went, like a little bit submission over position. Like she was trying so hard to get to the back to get to the rear naked choke that she like kind of got high on the back and wound up slipping off and wound up giving up some positions and wound up losing the fight as a result of it. So I think she's probably going to learn from that and maybe not be so heavy to just get to the neck or just get to the back. And as long as she holds position, I think she's the better grinder in this fight. Quinn Williams is, really physical is in her own right. She's really tough in the clinch. Her boxing seems to be coming around perhaps even a touch better than Barrett's. But I think just for me, I think the wrestling of Barrett plays up to the point where as long as she's not doing those stupid things she did on the ground last time, she should grind her way to a decision here. So I'll take Ashley Barrett.
Only 18% of tapologists are into this. So there you go. You might get a good
into Barrett?
Yeah, into Smashly. Okay. So yeah.
That's probably because she's coming off a loss and she's only what is she you said 1-1?
1-1.
Yeah.
1-1. Yeah. All right. Let's go with a couple of veterans. I guess technically they fought more than the ladies we just talked about. Ashley Yoder, perhaps you've heard of her. Abril, Anguiano, both the United States fighters, both at strawweight, both fighting 3 5-minute rounds if need be. Anguiano is Mulan. I believe we've spoken about her before. I remember the nickname. 6-5.
No, I think you're thinking of the Chinese fighter who fought on Road to the UFC. Who was Mulan.
Yeah, that's Mulan too. You're right.
So I think this is a different one.
The secondary of Mulan. I don't know actually who is Mulan first, but she's Mulan as well. She's 0-1 in Invicta. This Anguiano, 0-2 over her last 2, 2-2 over her last 4, 2-4 with 1 no contest over her last. That would be 7. She's fighting at 125 to 135. 3-1 in pro boxing, 12 years younger than Yoder. Yoder famously is the spider monkey, 9-9 with 4 submissions. She's never been finished in a fight. 1-0 in Invicta. She's won 1 of 4, 2 of 7. She did win her last bout. She went 3-8 in the UFC. A lot of tough tough decision losses in there that she could have very easily won. 1-1 in the Ultimate Fighter, 2014 Pro MMA debut, 1-0 in combat jiu-jitsu, 3 inches height, 5 inches reach over Anguiano. So she's going to be much bigger, but she's also much older. All right,
and she's also going to be a much bigger favorite because despite her record looking maybe shoddy, I can't imagine her coming in any less than like negative 500 here. And I'm going to take Ashley Yoder. Abril Anguiano, like she's got a halfway decent boxing background, but the problem is I've seen in a lot of her MMA fights is she's just like, she's a little bit afraid to let too much of her hands go because I think she worries that she's going to get taken down. So, she's a lefty. She winds up living behind that right jab and pretty much just throws it ad nauseum until, she starts to feel comfortable. And look, she got 2 submission losses already, and they're semi-recent. So like, what is Ashley Yoder good at? I mean, if you're on the ground with her and you're in danger, and that was even true when she was in the UFC with a much higher level of opponent here. So what I think is probably going to happen here is Yoder's going to have a little bit of a tough time finding her way around Anguiano's jab to start. And then eventually she'll realize all I got to do is walk through one of these, get her hips. And once you do, she's going to probably take the back. If you want me to get wildly specific with a
prediction,
please do. This really strikes me as a fight where she goes to get the takedown, doesn't quite get it, and transitions to the back anyway, and then hops up and finishes like a standing rear naked choke. That's got the style matchup. I also wouldn't be surprised if she had the back mount and Anguiano tried to go out the back and she had an arm bar. But like one of those two, like I see her finishing from the back here because she's a spider monkey. That's what spider monkeys do. Right?
That's what spider monkeys do.
They jump up on their back. So yes. Yeah, I'll take Ashley Yoder here. And if you're trying to get cute with some predictions here, definitely submission prop is what I'm looking.
Now, what book will be brave enough to put a very specific prop line up like Gumby's asking for here? That's what we have to ask, right?
We will see. We'll see.
All right. Before we get you some more winning plays and tell you more, maybe we'll give you more facts on Spider Monkeys. Who's to say? Let me tell you about a few of our fine sponsors here, starting with Edge Boost. Edge Boost is the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums, earn cashback rewards, and 100% approval for all betting deposits. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN. And if you deposit $25, EdgeBoost will match the deposit. That's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. And Naira Bets are back with us. NYRA Bets. The Preakness is just around the corner, and there's no better time to get in on the action with NYRA Bets. Sign up today with promo code SGPN200 and score a $200 deposit match bonus. Don't wait. Head to nyrabets.com/SGPN200 and claim your $200 deposit match bonus today. That's nyrabets.com/SGPN200. And finally, last but not least, it is time for Gumby's bonus underdog pick'em play for us. Underdog just launched their new game, Ladders. Went up to 500 times watching your favorite players climb the ladder. All right, Gumby, what we got?
Hey, they're getting in on projections for UFC Vegas 106 this weekend early. I saw a couple of them pop up there this morning. One of the ones that caught my eye, the significant strikes of Tisha Pennington, currently projected at 64.5. She's a fighter who goes the distance almost every time. I see her racking up those significant strikes. So give me the higher than on Tisha Pennington's significant strikes.
All right. Sign up with our promo code MMASGPN to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. So it's underdogfantasy.com, promo code MMASGPN. All right. Let's move on to third from the top. It is up at 125. Milana Dudieva from Russia. Amanda Torres from Brazil. The names check out with the countries. Let's break her down. 3 5-minute rounds. Torres, Sardina, which translates to sardine, but really it's little sardine, I would say, right?
Yeah, little sardine.
So that means she's really, really small.
Really tiny, small, salty fish.
Yes, that's what she is. She's 9-8. 1 knockout, 3 submissions. She's been knocked out twice, submitted once. 0-1 in Invicta. She's lost 2 straight and won 3 of her last 8. Both of his past 2 losses have come via finish. She has fought basically at every weight class, 105, 115, 135, and now she's at flyweight for this bout. 2012 pro MMA debut, 0-1 in pro karate, 0-2 in pro boxing, 3 years younger than Dudieva. Dudieva, 13-9, 4 knockouts, 6 submissions. She's been knocked out 4 times, submitted twice. 2-4 in Invicta. She's won 1 of 3 and 2 of 8. She did win her last bout, though. She's not lost a fight since March 2022. She went 1-2 in the UFC. Used to fight at 135. 2009 pro MMA debut, 2 inches of height over Torres.
Yeah, I think Dudieva is going to be the favorite thanks to her UFC career because neither of these two women have particularly good-looking records, right? But I think Dudieva is probably the one that they're going to favor because of her history. I'll say like negative 175 because, again, her record's not pretty. But I'm going to go Dudieva here. And the biggest reason is the grappling. And I know I've leaned on the grappling pretty heavily for these first three fights, right? Ashley Barrett, going to grapple. Ashley Yoder going to take your back. Dudieva probably going to score some takedowns. She's a Russian lady. But like the fact of the matter is that like it's not just that simple. But it's like if you look at the striking, Torres is probably a touch better. Dudieva, sometimes gets a little wild and a little wide with her striking. And Torres could exploit that to the point where she's winning fights on the feet. But I think as soon as Dudieva decides, like, hey, let's let this hit the ground, I think she's going to score the takedowns. And the big reason is if you watch Torres' last fight, she was fighting Victoria Leonardo, or maybe that was 2 fights ago. It might have been 2 fights ago. And like, do you think of Victoria Leonardo as being like some kind of like wizard taking down? I don't. But what she did in there was she basically took down Torres with almost no resistance whatsoever. And then Torres had no get up. She didn't wall walk to the cage. She didn't, or shoulder walk to the cage. She didn't wall walk. She wasn't looking for butterfly hooks to get her out of there. Like she just basically sat underneath Victoria Leonardo until Leonardo was done with that position. So when you got Dudieva, somebody who has been known to lean on her grappling from time to time and sort of can use that part of her game, I don't think Torres is going to survive that being repeatedly stuck in her face. So as long as Dudieva doesn't do something dumb and get herself caught on the feet, which Torres, does Torres have knockout power? I don't think all that much. I think she's got some finishes in there, but I want to say even the
one
KO,
knockout.
Yeah, and I think it's ground. I think it's ground and pound if I'm remembering right too. So it's like not like she's going to go in there and one hitter quitter on Dudieva. So I think Dudieva just come in with a grind first mentality. I think she should wind up winning this by decision.
She's definitely good at losing. She's lost a lot in every sport. Yeah, just says TKO is apparently word. TKO win. That was back 2013 on the Rio de Janeiro regional scene. So yeah, no knockout power. I can safely say without even watching her fight. So that's my bold statement here. All right, that's a Supremo Simplicio breakdown there, is it not?
Yeah, she can't knock people out.
Exactly. All right, co-main event time already. DeAnna Bennett, she's from the United States. Rayla Nascimento. She's from Brazil because I said Rayla instead of Rayla. Let's break her down by telling you about India first. That would be Nascimento, 11-10 with 3 knockouts. She's been knocked out once, submitted twice. 1-0 in Invicta. She's won 2 straight. Before that, she lost 2 straight. She has won 5 of her last 7. She is a regional champ. Used to fight at 115 and 135. 12 years younger than Bennett. Bennett is vitamin D, 14-9-1, 2 knockouts, 2 submissions. She's been knocked out once, submitted 4 times, 7-5 in Invicta, 1-2 over her last 3, 3-2 over her last 5, 3-4 over her last 7. She went 3-2 in Bellator, 0-1 in the UFC, 1-1 in the Ultimate Fighter. She's missed weight 3 times at 125. That's something to keep an eye on, especially considering she is not getting any younger. Used to fight at 115 and 135, 2012 Pro MMA debut, 0-2 in pro grappling, 2 inches taller than Nascimento.
I think, man, this is a hard one for me to sort of wrap my head around because the last time we backed Rayla Nascimento, she was fighting Victoria Leonardo, former UFC fighter.
Again,
I think she came in. Yeah, we were just talking about her. She's fought both of these women. And so like she fought Victoria Leonardo. She came in betting, I want to say at like plus 250, plus 300 or something like that. And she crushed her. She looked great the whole fight. She wound up winning that one for us. And so like mentally for me, I feel like beating the crap out of Victoria Leonardo. Now you're going to fight, maybe a touch past her prime DeAnna Bennett. Like it screams she should be the favorite, but I'm hearing some people say that they expect Bennett to be possibly as high as negative 200 when this posts. If that's true, you got to get on Nascimento and get on her quick. Because I don't think she will be an underdog for very long. If the books slip up and make a mistake and let her be the underdog to start, make them pay for it. Because Rayla Nascimento, for me, is definitely the pick in this fight. Like DeAnna Bennett, she does look like she had maybe a little bit of a resurgence. Maybe it was rude of me to say that she's past her prime. But if you've watched that fight with Liz Tracy, which she does wind up winning, the same things are good about DeAnna Bennett that have always been good about her, and that's she's a grinder. And for the first time on this whole fight card, I'm not taking the grinder. I'm taking the person I think is going to badly outbox her. Because if you watch that fight with Liz Tracy, yes, she won some of the grappling exchanges. Yes, she won some of the striking exchanges. But like Liz Tracy backs her up quite a bit in the beginning of that fight. And, you know, if Liz Tracy, who is, again, largely a grappler and has that similar style to Bennett, is backing you up with the striking, I think Rayla Nascimento is going to do it even better. She throws really good hooks. I really like her footwork and the way that she cuts angles. She's good at making sure that you are not circling away from her and are forced to box her. And it's that footwork that really plays up in her takedown defense. Again, you know, like I'm not saying Victoria Leonardo is a good takedown artist because I just got done bashing her for that exact thing in the last fight. But like Nascimento's takedown defense held up against Leonardo. She tried to shoot some takedowns. She dug her underhooks. And I think even more than the way she dug the underhooks that played up for me is it was the distance management. She does a really good job of making sure wrestlers don't get too close to her legs while she's striking because she's in and out and she cuts angles and she doesn't stay in front of you. And for all those reasons, I think Nascimento is just going to piece up Bennett with her hooks. I think you're going to, you know, you might see a similar number in terms of like significant strikes by the end of the fight, but the ones you're going to remember are from Rayla Nascimento. I think she's going to do the big damage here. I would not be surprised if she caught her with like a hook and dropped her. So give me Rayla Nascimento here.
The definitely topology people are into Bennett, 71%.
Yeah,
so
that's what
looking good for you.
I don't know how you beat Victoria Leonardo and then wind up an underdog to DeAnna Bennett. You know, like, not that, you know, I would definitely pick Leonardo over Bennett, but like, you know, I think one of them has like a UFC pedigree and one of them is, you know, quite a bit older. So, yeah, I love Nascimento in this spot.
6 Degrees of Leonardo could be the episode title. I already have a title, but that could be it. Because everyone's, you also said a good title earlier. You said She's a Russian Lady, which would have been a good title as well, but maybe,
she's a Russian
maybe I'll go with one of those. Who's to say? All right. Before we dive into the main event and lightning round, let me tell you about Rhythm. That would be spelled RITHMM. Rhythm is your home for AI-backed picks and props. Dominate the NBA playoffs and MLB prop market with Rhythm. Building your own model is simple and easy. Rhythm knows you'll love it. That's why they include a 7-day free trial. Al Horford lines, projections, they have it there, of course. And they also have some amazing deals going on right now. 25% off a monthly subscription with promo code SGPN25 and 50% off a annual subscription with promo code SGPN50. So that's RITHMM, promo code SGPN25 or SGPN50. And you can get a 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm, RITHMM. All right. We're also brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every sport, including the NBA playoffs, plus props for every game. For the true Jujens, the MyBookie money bag. MyBookie accepts customers for a ton of locations. Easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Check out all the MMA lines. We quote you on this here show at mybookie.ag. And when you do, head over there. Make sure you use our promo code SGPN, MMA SGPN, excuse me. Right? MMA SGPN, yes. For 100%.
You got it.
It says it right on the screen if you're on YouTube, people. I'm not looking at it. It's not a fact that I can't read. MMA SGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code MMA SGPN. And finally, Circa. Finally, last but not least, for sure, this is a very good giveaway for you. Circa Ultimate Fantasy Football Giveaway. Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas is giving away the ultimate fantasy football experience for a 12-person league to draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs for their stay. The winner will receive a 2-night stay at Circa Resort and Casino for their entire 12-person league. That would be 6 double king rooms. They get to hold the draft at a cabana at Stadium Swim with a $5,000 food and beverage credit, limo transportation to and from the airport, a welcome party at Legacy Club for the league, reservation at the world's largest sportsbook with $500 beverage credit for the league, and a 2-hour open bar package for the league at Overhang Bar. Contest durations from May the 5th until June the 30th. So get in right now by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. That would be sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CIRCA. And we're off to our main event of the evening. Katharina Lehner from Germany, Olga Rubin from Israel, 3 5-minute rounds, 135. Rubin is big bad. Olga Rubin, 9-5, 3 knockouts, 1 submission. She's been knocked out twice, submitted once, 2-3 in Invicta. She's lost 2 straight. She's won 2 of 5 and 3 of 8. She's not won since May of 2023. She went 4-2 in Bellator. Used to fight at 145, 3 inches height, 2 inches reach over Lehner. Lehner is the German gypsy, 9-5 with 1 knockout. She's been knocked out once, submitted twice. 2-3 in Invicta. Win over her last 3. 2-5 over her last 7. 0-1 in Bellator. 0-1 in the Ultimate Fighter. However, multiple regional championships on her. Correct. Man. Get her gear, get her merch, get all the good stuff. Get our Degens stuff at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. Degens, Degens is your code for 20% off. Used to fight at 145, 2014 Pro MMA debut. 1-2 as a pro boxer. A disqualification in slap fighting. Gumby probably knows about that. Is this the one?
I think isn't she the one? About? She's the one who. Yeah, she's the one who gave the concussion to. Something. She's the one who was supposed to fight Snickers, and she had a concussion, and then she had to fight her later.
Yes.
Man, I can't.
I'm going to find out who it is. Gumby. Don't you?
Christina.
Christina. Jackie Cataline. It was.
Jackie Cataline. Yes. Nope, not Christina.
She's Katharina, but yes, it was Jackie Cataline. Okay. So disqualification is slap fighting, which I didn't know was possible, but I guess it is. 0-1 in bare knuckle fighting, and that's all I got for her.
All right. I'm gonna say pick 'em on this one. I'm having a real hard time picking a winner, and deciding what the public should be in on here too, because they're both like pretty well known Invicta fighters. Both of them have had kind of iffy results. Ultimately, I think I'm going to go with Olga Rubin. I think for me, Lehner was a little bit better in her last fight. She got a little bit pickier when she was boxing. It was Shanna Young she beat last, I think. She got a little bit pickier with the shot she threw, so she wasn't just like overextending herself all the time, getting beat up that way. And obviously, it played out well for her. She got a win over a UFC vet. But also I think Olga Rubin counters well enough that just maybe even if her shots aren't overextended, she should be able to tag her a bit. I know she likes to throw that high kick once in a while. I don't know that that'll land, but it's good enough. My concern with Rubin, and maybe this is why I'm wishy-washy on this one, is I feel like if Katharina Lehner was decided to take her down, it'd be like a coin flip too of whether or not Rubin would get a sub off her back. She keeps going to the buggy choke. It seems like she doesn't want to get up even when she's down. And I mean, do you want to back somebody who fights like that? Not always, right? But do I also think that Lehner could get caught in that? Maybe. So it's like a weird fight where I feel like it's a coin flip in a lot of different areas. Lehner could definitely hit her with the volume. Rubin could hit her with the big counters. Lehner could take her down and lay on her and stay safe. Rubin could definitely sub her off the back. And that's kind of the two ways I could see everything going here is one is power, one is accuracy or volume maybe. And one is, again, volume number in terms of takedowns, and one is dangerous. And so I guess at the end of the day, I'd just rather have the fighter who's dangerous in both of those versus the one who I think is going to be able to put up numbers. So I'll take Big Bad Olga Rubin.
And the nickname. The nickname's enough reason to pick her. Big Bad is a good nickname.
Yeah. I like the buggy choke. I like that she scored that, and she scored it on not a slouch either, right? It was Claire Guthrie, I think she caught, who I kind of like. So it's a legit win for Olga Rubin.
I thought you liked that as a nickname, which would be a good nickname too. Buggy choke would be a good nickname.
Buggy choke.
All right, let's give you a recap, but don't you go away. I'm going to press Gumby into a lightning round picks for you. He's got Rubin.
Just one pick. There's only 6 fights.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we did 5 already. That's right. He's got Rubin. He has got Dudieva. He has got Yoder. He has got Barrett. I missed one there, didn't I? He has got Nascimento. Right? Okay, I'll recap in case you're doing it in order, people. Rubin, Nascimento, Dudieva, Yoder, and Barrett. For you people out there who just want the picks, which I know there's some of you because you comment often about things like that. All right, lightning round. Zap Bam Boom Pow. I wonder what fight Gummy's going to pick for the lightning round.
Yeah, it's a couple of newbies to the sport, but they both have tons of AMI background. One of them's got a really good AMI background. The other one has kind of got the wishy-washy one, and I'm actually going to go with the wishy-washy one. Right. I'm going to go with Alexandra Lawal for a couple of reasons. She trains at a Ward Training Center in Texas, which I think pretty highly of. That's where it used to be a different gym, but then their coach flipped over there. He was the boxing coach for Johnny Hendricks. Now I'm just saying words that don't really matter. But it's a gym that I kind of trust in terms of her boxing. Yeah, Training Center. Who is the boxing coach? He was on Top Turtle. He was on Top Turtle episode 6.
Oh, really?
We're on 480 now, but he was on episode
Richard
6
Copley.
Like that.
Jeremy Mahan?
No.
Neither of those guys?
No, it's going to come to me later.
Okay.
It's going to come to me later. Maybe those are the MMA coaches
Rakim,
now,
the
but he was the
boogeyman
boxing coach
Cleveland?
No, I like Rakeem
Yep.
Cleveland though. He's out of that gym. And so like I think her boxing's pretty good, and from what I've seen, she's got pretty good power for somebody who's 0-0 and only been fighting an amateur. And like she's kind of had like losses that have taught her something every single time. Whereas like if you look at her opponent's kind of just like beating up a bunch of really bad girls in a lot of situations. So I'm gonna go with Alexandra Lawal as my lone lightning round.
All right, Zapemu. It was a quick storm, just a quick lightning flash. But Gumby does good with the lightning round picks too. Are you keeping track of those this year?
I meant to, and then I like fell 30 events behind, and I gave up on
These
it.
things happen in MMA for sure. All right, y'all are all set for Invicta on Friday. We'll be hanging out in the Discord. Discord was jumping this past weekend when the UFC was on. It's jumping all the time. It's good. It runs without us now. But mom and dad can be busy, and the kids can play and behave themselves for the most part. So that's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. You can check us out on Twitter, SGPN MMA. He's at Gummy Reeland. I'm at Jeff Fox Writer there, and on Instagram. Please follow me on Instagram so the dog doesn't get ahead of me in followers. I think he's only like 40 behind at this point. So Jeff Fox Writer. Of course, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, and you can hit us up in the comments like our friend MMA Upside does at MMA Gambling Podcast.
My man.
He's a good man. He says he's chatty, but it's not a bad thing. I enjoy all his comments. So keep it up, MMA Upside. All right, that is the YouTube. I told you about the Twitter. You can check out my Substack at moneymma.substack.com. You can check out Gummy's other podcasts, the Top Turtle MMA podcast. There's no jinx. I'm in Zahabi. Got the judges on his side, despite being on your show.
Yeah.
No jinx there. Who is going to be jinx free this week?
Oh, we got three.
Right.
We got Tough Winner Myron Santos, Juicy J Julian Arosa, and we also got Connor Matthews.
That's right. We discussed this yesterday.
Also, real quick, his striking coach's name was Stephen.
There you go. Oh, I love him. Stand up.
Yeah,
stand up comedian.
No,
he's great.
Not that one. Nope, not that. Not
that guy. He's from your neck of the woods too. That guy, Stephen Wright.
Nope. He looks quite a bit different.
He doesn't talk like really slow and deadpan.
No, he doesn't.
You do know Stephen Wright though, right? You're not too young for that.
He's awesome. Know who that is. Yeah, I know.
Anyhow, okay. So this goes out to the other Stephen Wright. And of course, we're at sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store, sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Oh, the store, make sure the code DEGENS will get you 20% off, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon for bonus content. Now I have to decide what of 3 titles I'm going to use, but I'll figure it out. We'll be back tomorrow. It'll be Smashley Fox, Spider Monkey Vreeland. We'll talk to you then.